for today's cup of coffee?
Cup of coffee.
Kids wanting us to, basically we would have, he's like, it's just off the cuff stuff that we say. It's like, that's just how we are.
And that's what people want to hear, is that out of pocket.
It's like, I do not want to live the Truman Show. I don't. We don't know that we're not.
He made it out in the end, so you know what? That's not that bad.
Oh, I never watched it. I'm aware of it. I understand the premise of it and stuff, but I have not. That is a movie I have not watched.
I've never watched the full thing either.
Because
just clips on
freaks
TikTok.
Me out. I have this weirdness as far as privacy. I'm just one of these very, very private people that has been thrust into this surveillance state world, and it freaks me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it says his microphone falls down. Mercury and mayonnaise.
Mercury's and mayonnaise.
Oh, so many people have been having difficulties with the mercury and mayonnaise. They really have. This one has kicked people's ass.
Yes.
Asses.
It has.
Not the collective ass. That's what it is.
It's been rough.
Yeah.
It has been rough.
And
it ain't been fun.
Within this, because I'm an observer of people, it's interesting. Our world is really, really interesting right now. And so I got to wondering.
That's a light way of saying it.
Yeah, well, you sit there and it's like you rebuke me for being blunt. I don't care. It doesn't stop me from being blunt. It doesn't, because I'm just not put together quite right.
Me and oldest brother both going like.
It's like, Mama, oh God, don't get her started. She will say stuff. She will embarrass you. Not usually.
No.
I do have the ability to control myself under certain circumstances. Usually. As far as being outspoken, well, yeah, that's just my nature.
It's just funny. And
it's a good thing, because I can't remember exactly what rabbit hole I had gone down the other day as far as why do people do what they do. And I think this is a psychological thing, and it's also a spiritual thing, and I still don't know that there's necessarily that much of a difference. I don't. Yeah. But it was the Asch experiment. ASCH. And I did go and find a video, and that's how they pronounced it.
What is that an acronym for?
No, that was the man's name.
What?
That was his name. That was his last name. His name was Solomon Asch.
Okay.
And he did these experiments as far as conformity. Because all of us are wondering why in the hell people would go along with some of the stupid shit that's going on in the world today. And this is as far as sheeple. That's not just somebody saying that. Yeah, that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And it's like, the wonderful thing about psychology is it can help people learn about themselves and overcome. The negative thing about psychology is that there are people that are out there that are using it to hurt other people. That's the dark side of everything. So with this experiment, and I did find a wonderful video on YouTube that is from Sprouts.
Sprouts?
And it's an educational thing. Maybe. It's an educational thing, and it actually, you can use it in, teaching.
Okay.
Things. There's no kind of copyright. It's a Creative Commons thing. So I will put the link to that, and somebody may need this and be able to use it in a professional setting or something like that. Mm-hmm. That explains about Asch's Conformity experiment on Groupthink. And I also, before I had found the video.
Is that what it is? Hive mind, basically?
Sort of, kind of. But what was interesting, before I found the video, I had found an article from Very Well Mind. Now, some of these articles in pop psychology, and let's call it what it is.
Pop psychology.
It is.
I like that term.
There is, as far as clinical psychology, and pop psychology goes into where people are diagnosing themselves on a lot of things. And that, again, is a double-edged sword. If you know that there is a problem, you can look up different things and then go to somebody that is a respected, honest to God, true professional that is effective. Basically, all this stuff is rare as hen's teeth. And so, but you've got so many people that they are doing self-diagnosis on everything. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they're getting it wrong. But you've got a lot of people out there in the professional field that are getting it wrong. Study and make thyself approved.
Do your own research.
Uh-huh. Like I said, I do have a degree in the shit, so I'm,
Yeah, you're not just talking from theory.
No, not on this. Not on many things. I usually research before I start saying some of these things.
A lot.
Yeah, because I am nerd. Hear me read.
Nerd!
But nerd! The way this article was written in Very Well Mind proved the Asch experiment. And so I will provide the link to that, and people that want to put forth the time can go and see what I mean on it. Yeah.
Okay.
But within this experiment, and that's why you've got these lines on the screen. It's like, what the hell are these lines on the screen? Asch had taken a group of people. I was trying to look through here on his methodology. That was the main thing that I wanted on this. And that he had these students that would go into a room together. I was trying to look to see how many. And that there was one out of this group that was the actual test subject.
Oh, shit.
And this was originally done in the 50s, I think they said. And the other ones were, they called them Confederates. I don't know that I like that. It's like they were in on it.
Yeah.
And so the question was, you had Exhibit 1, and you see the length of the line, and then you have the 3 lines on Exhibit 2. Mm-hmm. Which line on Exhibit 2 is the same as Exhibit 1? Okay? Mm-hmm. And it's like, for the first time, all of them would say, in this case, it would be A. A would be the correct, that it's the same length as Exhibit 1.
Right.
All right. They would have different ones, different little graphs. Mm-hmm. Then you had the people that were the plants, that you would have a certain majority of them or a certain number of them that would give the wrong answer purposefully. And that they were observing the behavior of the test subject. And it's like
a lot of gaslighting right there.
It was a matter how many of them would purposefully give the wrong answer just to fit in with the group.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And it's just like, lot. It said that on this one, excuse me, nearly 75% of the participants went along with the rest of the group at least one time. And I think that in the video it said that 5% went along with the group every time.
5% went along with the group every
That regardless of what they saw or believed or anything like that, if the rest of the herd said that whatever the answer was, that's what they went along with. That is how you get 2 + 2 = 5.
That is some mindfuckery.
It is psyops.
Mindfuckery.
Yeah.
Mindfuck.
But it is also human behavior. And it's like, it is just fascinating. Fascinating. And it said that in this situation, just 5% to 10% of the participants conformed to the rest of the group on one of it. It was a very small percentage that, regardless of what the group said, that they would stand their ground and go, no, this is my answer. I don't care what the rest of y'all think. This is my answer. And where
It's
this...
called speaking truth.
Absolutely, being strong enough to stand up and tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating. And they know this is that wanting to belong, because not that many people have gotten to a level to where they're comfortable with self.
No.
That they are needing that external validation. This is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of them going, hey, world, this is who I am. And it's gotten worse, I think, with social media. We're just more aware of it.
I think at this point we are more aware of how many people are in that sheep mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that are purposefully telling the truth.
Like I
or
said,
telling lies.
Never forget that DARPA invented internet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And on this, it said that it was found that conformity tends to increase the more people are present. And it says, however, there's little change once the group size goes beyond 4 or 5. And it says conformity also increases when the task becomes more difficult. It says, in the face of uncertainty, people turn to others for information about how to respond. All right. Conformity increases when other members of the group are of a higher social status. Mm-hmm. That's the reason that they get these damn actors and celebrities and all this bullshit out there. Tell me how to think. You've made your living speaking other people's words, but tell me how to think.
Mm-hmm.
God,
it's like, no, we have to be our own individuals.
Absolutely. It says when people view the others in the group as more powerful, influential, or knowledgeable than themselves, then they are more likely to go along with the group. And then the other one, conformity leads to decrease, however, when people are able to respond privately. Research has also shown that conformity decreases if people have support from at least one other individual in the group. And they did say that in the video. If you've got one that's sort of sitting on the fence, mm-hmm. and you've got one more in the group that's going, oh hell no, the emperor is naked. Mm-hmm.
As soon as that one person
be the one.
Yeah, all it takes is one person
mm-hmm.
to break it.
Be the one.
Yeah.
Especially in today's world.
It's like, he's naked. You're right, he is naked.
He's naked and his ass cheek is one's higher than the other.
There's lopsided cheeks. That's a new infliction. That is a new curse. May you have lopsided cheeks.
Because
I cast lopsided cheeks.
Some of us are just born that way. And I had to go see my endocrine. It's actually endocrinology.
Uh-huh.
But what do they say? It's always diabetes center. Because diabetes is big business. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny because he had a young man in there that, I don't know if he's a resident or what, I mean, it wasn't that he was unqualified. Mm-hmm. So he's probably, I don't know, 30-ish, maybe, somewhere through that. They all look like they're kids to me anymore. And he was being very nice and polite and all this bunch of stuff. And because that's how he has been conditioned to be. And then the doctor himself, whom at this point I have known him for many years, he comes in, and he's a couple of years older than I am. So he's on that, I think he's probably in boomer category, but he's close enough to Gen X to where there's not a problem. And he and I just start, and the other guy, the young guy, was just sort of appalled because the doctor and I, we just start shit talking because that's Gen X. We're built different. And that, to take making jokes, for me to sit there and go, you know what, the older I get, the more I look like one of those troll dolls from the 60s. and and he's like, yeah, I'm surprised you're still alive. I said, right? And just that this normal exchange, this used to be a normal form of exchange.
It did.
And then for that young man to, like I said, I think he was just sort of mortified. But he understood that the relationship, the dynamic between the doctor and myself was one that was comfortable enough to do that.
Right.
To shit talk with each other. And the fact that this doctor also, at one point in time, had been a doctor at a prison in Kentucky, which is another reason that he's very dear to me.
Yeah.
He understands on multiple levels how I am.
He knows exactly where you've been.
Yeah, he does. And as far as just the damn diabetes thing, no, they ain't no rhyme or reason to it.
But I'm sure he says that too. There ain't no rhyme or reason.
He knows that. He knows that. And it's just like, as far as the idiocy that's out there, it's like, oh, you're fat, you're diabetic, that's what causes it. No, it's not. There's a lot of people that are thinner and are diabetic.
Yes.
And it is something that just, it is genetic. Lucky us.
Loves it.
But with that young man, because that I am as I am, and Leo, do I see things to purposefully gauge people's reaction? Of course I do. Because what fun is life if you can't mind fuck somebody ever so often?
You and Omega just doing stuff just to fuck with people.
Just to see that reaction. Because they need that. They need to be shocked out of complacency from time to time.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just as far as our little town, and I've used this line for many years to sit there and go, oh, well, you know how we all are. We're all inbred and mutated. And the thing is there's some truth in that. I don't want to admit. That's what makes it more funny.
Listen, I don't want to admit that's part of our lineage.
People don't know whether to laugh, cry, or shit. They don't.
We aren't inbred.
No, you're not. I mean, you're further down the line. With your father, there was no kinship on any of that stuff.
Good, I broke that curse.
Neither with the oldest kid.
Good, we broke that curse.
Yeah. But just to see people's reaction, and especially in this day and time, and that's just like youngest kid and I were talking prior to recording, because of this experiment, this Asch Conformity experiment, and this is why it is, what's going on in our education systems and stuff is so insidious. And as they had replicated this experiment after the 50s, after the original experiment, they also included females. Guess what? Females are more prone to this than males, just by nature of them being more agreeable. It's in their makeup. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
And this is how you get cancel culture. And this is how you get the Swifties. And this is how you get, it is that I belong to. How dare you say something that is not canon. You are a heretic. You are now, into the neither realm.
I'm glad you said Taylor Swift, because I've put myself in the firing line. Luckily, nothing. God has been protecting me as far as anyone even coming at me on X about this. I went against them, and I was like, why is she famous? She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't have that much talent. Her music has always been and still is mediocre at
it's studio.
best.
It is total studio.
Yeah.
Anybody who has ever listened to and studied music, and even as far as the music industry, which do these people understand all this psychology? You bet your ass they do. And the ones that understand it the most are the ones that claim to be news and advertisers.
Loves it.
Yeah. It's true. People are being played.
Yeah.
Anytime that they are opening themselves up to television, as far as the regular programming, they're subject to being mind fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I've known this for many, many years. And that came from husband number one taught college. And that was one of the classes that he taught, was the subliminal messages within advertising. Now, this was print advertising at that point. That was in the 80s. But he also had read the book Games People Play, which was how to manipulate people. And so I had seen him do that lots. Of course, the man was also a psychopath. For real. I'm not joking when I say that. This was one that tried to off me for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I have the receipts. So it's incredible how people, especially if they are sociopathic, and there's a lot of those out there.
There's a lot more than you would think of.
The sheep. And especially, like I said, in some of these centers for indoctrination. And that anybody who would dare speak the truth, this is where you get that swarming. And this is where, if you see somebody that has spoken the truth, and you know it, back them up.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that there's somebody else that's seeing what they're seeing. That 2 + 2 = fucking 4. And it's not enough to be silent during this period of time. Because this is spiritual warfare. The time for sitting on the fence is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought, to find out the name after all those years of this experiment, and Asch Conformity. I can add that in with the Milgram experiment and the Stanford prison experiment. Remember, Operation Paperclip, folks.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, kid?
Be aware of the mind fucks.
Yeah. I will tell you this, because kid is Pisces. And I had him come up here and look at the graph prior to recording so that he would know, because we don't have dual screens or anything like that. And I said, which one is the same? And he told me that it was A. And I said, really? Are you sure it's not B? In a split second, he started doubting himself.
Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better about myself.
No, that means that you understand that there is something that because you've got a Leo rising.
Mm-hmm.
And to sit there and go, no. And it's okay to sit there and go, Mama, you a little bit, you off kilter. Why don't you, tilt your head back upright and look at this.
You got to remember, I don't put it in those terms. I tried to put it in a very light, kind, gentle manner.
Oh, but I also went back and I showed him. I got an index card, and that you could see the lines, and to sit there and go, this is very easily proven.
Mm-hmm. But
you don't just have to guess. There is proof and evidence.
Now, I did tell you that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to let that shit go. Be like, that would bug the shit out of me.
I was just like,
if I never went back and looked.
This is one of those with the oppositional defiant disorder, and I was just born like this. I don't have any problem. I was paid to be cussed for years. So I don't have a problem with some of the things that the other people, and God love them. Kid, I do worry about y'all's group.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is why the cyber grannies and cyber grandpas and anybody like that can help back up some of these young people when they are speaking truth. Mm-hmm. Encourage them, pray for them. Just sit there and go, you're doing good. I got you back.
Yep.
So if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural, all this stuff is paranormal and supernatural. All of it.
I think one of the main issues with Gen Z is the fact that they are the ones that have had exposure to the internet for a long time. Mm-hmm. Basically the time that they grew up. And experiencing all the stuff that you do over that amount of time. Hearing a buttload of opinions, people that say something is true but it is in fact not. Mm-hmm. And everybody fighting in the amongst of it. That beats a person down.
Well, it can, or it can make you resilient to sit there and go, this is not the real world. This is not the real world. This is words on a screen. This person doesn't really know me. Mm-hmm. Why am I basing my day and my emotions and my thoughts around something that random whoever that I will never see said? Mm-hmm. And that's where you have to learn to be strong within yourself. Do not allow somebody else's opinion, thoughts, whatever, to affect you.
That's like that lady up with the horrible staircase. Let me clear my throat for this one.
Oh, God, I've got him on a tangent here.
That lady that has destroyed a perfectly good classical wooden staircase structure and everything else that made that house.
Right.
Do not say some place is your dream home when you want to gut it from the inside out and create it into something that is bland and tasteless.
Yeah.
And I will gladly say that to her face. And I was like, because I do comment on her videos every now and again if she pops up on my feed, if I am in a sort of mood, I will comment. And I was like, girl, watch down the line. You're going to regret what you're putting in.
Yeah, and it'll be too late.
Yeah. And she's like, she responded to me, I'm never going to regret it.
How old is she?
Probably a little older than me.
Oh, she has
like close to her
idea.
30s, or if not in her 30s.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I replied, bet.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it'll be too late. That's one of the things. There are real world consequences for some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. That sort of shit I will not back down from.
Well, it's all right. That's at Leo rising. It's okay to learn to roar. I've been trying to teach you that for a long time. Anyhow, paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats. If you're aware of there's been bunches of experiments, some of them ethical, some of them unethical. There's always going to be somebody that whines, even though they agree to take part in these psychological experiments. And you'll have somebody coming back, I didn't know. That was the whole damn point. It was an experiment.
Yeah. No shit. You aren't supposed to know something's an experiment or else the experiment won't work.
Those are the types of people that lost that man's half of his skull. I damn well guarantee you.
I bet you.
Yeah. So you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It's in the description box. Yes, I'm still way behind on emails. I'm sorry. It happens from time to time. But it's there, and I'll put the links to the video and to the article so that you can, Gonna peruse that.
And if you like this video, subscribe, comment, like, share. Check her out on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Orlando, COCWS. Yeah. Thank you all for having a good... What was the hesitation? I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Good. Are you sure you're good? Are you sure? Are you really sure?
Certain.
Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.